What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Study Hall here on UFS University. My name's Tam, and I'm joined by this absolutely fantastic cast. To my right, your left, I've got who? Who are you?
Tyler.
What's your last name?
Clark.
What'd you do this past weekend?
I went to the
Chicago.
Chicago PTC.
Damn right you did. Damn right you did.
Yes, I did.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Shut your mouth. We'll talk about it later.
All right.
And to my left, your right, stage left. Is it stage left or stage right?
It'd be stage left.
Stage
No.
left. Don't make me sound like a fool on the internet.
It would be stage right. 'Cause
Stage
the
right.
Stage is over there.
But wouldn't that's the audience? Wouldn't we
Yeah.
be the stage?
No, stage right means that you're looking at the stage.
Okay.
I believe. I never went to.
Stage right.
I never acted in high school.
Definitively. Let us know in the comments down below.
Travis Tangeman.
Right into that microphone. What Study Hall is for the unenrolled is we take a bunch of your guys' UFS topics as well as some of our own, and we sit down and we discuss them for your amusement, entertainment, and knowledge. So, Tyler Clark has already said that he was at the Chicago PTC this past weekend. Did
Yes,
you
I
have fun?
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you play? What'd you do?
I
Give me
played.
the deets.
I played Gil.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to do garbage. I did the most average you could do.
Which was?
2-2-2.
2 wins, 2 ties, 2 losses.
Yeah. I don't know if that's actually the most average you can do.
I don't think
but
so. I
it's
think
2
3-3
across
is.
the board, so
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6-round event. We'll talk about that in a bit.
I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I guess I did fine.
Yeah, I think you did great.
I also think I might have gotten some good matchups.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Including that Gil mirror?
No.
No.
I'll
I'll give it plus 4 speed. I'll give it minus 4 speed. We'll both gain 2.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
fuck. That sounds like awful. That sounds awful.
It was awful. I somehow brought it back though in game 2 after he beat me in like 5 minutes game 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It was just like, well, I guess the way we do this is we just go in, and if I check bet, then I lose.
Yeah, damn
Which
right.
Uh,
Travis, how's your weekend UFS, buddy?
Pretty good. I've just been building a bunch of decks recently. So, like, I have Vega built under Evil, and I also built him under Death. So, I need to test with the Death version here soon
Mm-hmm.
and change some stuff in Evil.
Okay. All right. Okay. I love Vega. Vega is, I think, the only playable Street Fighter character. I absolutely adore that deck, and the only reason that I am not continuing to play that deck is I have to move on because of me cosplaying stuff. So I cannot play Vega again at a major.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There it is, people. You never have to worry about Tamron Cardwell's Vega ever again. He gets diversified by Andrew Alexa playing Vega. Puts it down, never touches it again. Like Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2, where he puts down the mask after he loses his powers. Remember that?
Yeah, and then he never picks it up again.
Never picks it up again. My week in UFS was fine. I played Jeddah at this PTC. I got 4th place. Got blown out to a Huitzel in top 4, which was real rad. It was a fun way to end my event.
Mm-hmm.
That character I thought was like D tier, but like I get to now reevaluate. I get to learn from this experience and craft my own tier list as it is appropriate. Yes?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Makes sense.
So what I want to talk about in topic 1, here comes the graphic, is the Chicago PTC. As quick as we can, me and Tyler get to talk about our experiences, and you have the most important job on the podcast because we were there. We both were. You get to ask us the questions that the good people would want to know. Anything that your little heart and mind, whatever floats up to your brain, just shoot it out of your mouth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How was the event, Tyler?
It was good. The place was really, really cool.
The place was the Gaming Goat out in Chicago. It was
Yeah.
rad, super rad.
Yeah, it was a really cool space. It was like all the stuff that they had there. They had like a VR setup.
They did, which was really rad.
Wow, that's really sweet.
And it was not only was it a VR setup, but it was one of those 3D trackball setups. So like you got strapped in and we're like running all over the place and like shooting zombies and shit. It was really
That's
rad.
awesome.
Even though I don't think either of us did it.
No, I didn't do it. Fuck that.
Yeah.
It was like $10 for, it was like $5 for 10 minutes, which doesn't sound like a deal, but honestly, like if I had the time, if I didn't top, I might have spent the spondooly on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, man, I'm gonna lose to Phil Birch in top 8. I don't have time to do this.
They also brought us a bunch of food. Like they had a bunch of just treats
Alright.
throughout the day, and then
Have you ever been to Chicago?
I've been through Chicago.
Through Chicago? Have you ever had a Chicago hot dog?
No, I have not.
You definitely should. My highlight of the trip was not getting 4th place, but it was eating at Portillo's. Shout outs to Greg Miller. Thank you so much, buddy.
Okay.
I ate at Portillo's for the first time, and I wanted to eat every meal there possible. There was so much amazingness on these hot dogs. It was insane. We did not get pizza cake, although, sorry if I'm about to lose a couple subscribers. I don't like deep dish. I am a thin crust pizza guy. I can appreciate a deep dish. I can do that, but like pizza cake was not on my list. On the top of my list for this first Chicago visit. It was definitely, let's see how many Chicago style hot dogs I can put in my face, which the answer was 5 total. 5 total in the whole trip.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I heard it was one of the largest PTCs we've ever had.
We had 49 registered players. 49. That's a lot. That's huge for our game. So
way more than anybody predicted.
the game is dying. Sell your cards now.
Yep.
No, I'm kidding. The game's doing great. There was a huge diverse cast of characters. I looked at all the decks that registered. We did have 5 Kins, 5 Akumas, but besides that, like, we had a singular Jet show up. We didn't have any Jackies. I want to say we had 1 Vega. We had like 2 Rapt. Like, there was 50 characters. I expected diversity. A fifth of the characters had diversity. Or fifth of the players had to deal with diversity, but everybody else was playing their own game, which says format's fine. Format's healthy, except for maybe Akuma and Ken, which we get to talk about.
Right.
What else? What else was super rad about this place? Oh, Ryan Pham. This was the first tournament that I have had him head judge at. Normally it's Shane, so shout out to Ryan Pham for crushing that. I need to silence my phone.
Yes, please.
You guys could have filled the time, but it's chill. It was a fine. He did a fantastic job. He was roaming around. He was everywhere. If we're gonna call a spade, I feel like the organization of the event could have been a little bit better. I feel like prize support could have been given out a little sooner. I feel like we did not take a top 8 picture, but we took a top 4 picture. Not because we didn't want to take a top 8 picture, but because we were so focused on playing this beautiful game UFS that we did not have time to breathe to take a picture. So I feel like Ryan could have commanded just a little more and been like, I am the gaming goat and I demand we take a top 8 picture.
So speaking of prize support,
We'll get to that in a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you worry your pretty little head.
So, like, the event did start at like noon though. So like,
Yes,
it
did.
It went pretty late.
And that was not Jasko's fault. That was not Ryan, my beautiful baby boy Fam's fault. That was 100% the gaming goat just doesn't open till noon.
Yeah.
And so we actually were allowed to show up at 11 to start playing at noon. They opened the store an hour early for us, day 1. Day 2, they're like, fuck that. Come back at noon. Which was really rad because
you kept me here till 1? Yeah, fuck you guys.
we only kept him here till like midnight. I don't think it was 1 o'clock. I think we got home at like 1, and we were staying at Chris Smith's house, who was an hour away from the event. Yeah, it was pretty rad.
Thank you very much, though, Chris. It was
shout outs to Chris Smith. Go out and like his channel, the second best UFS content on the internet. I'm a little biased though. At Rockford CCG. Go out, give him a like, subscribe, hit him up on Patreon, do all the super cool stuff. So let's talk about prize support before we jump into the bottom half of this top 8. What was your question about prize support?
So from what I saw, I feel like a lot of people were disappointed with prize support for this event.
I also heard that scuttlebutt, yes.
So like I know there was someone, I forget who it was in the Discord, who was saying that they traveled from like Florida or something.
Oh,
I don't remember, but they were traveled a long distance to go to this tournament and got a hotel for 2 nights or something, and they I think they got 10th or something, and they got the high seas or whatever. Was it a high seas adventure promo?
It was 6 high seas adventure, 1 per round.
Man. And they were really disappointed by that prize support, which is understandable because it's a card that we already have. It's still legal. The art isn't exactly that much better.
That's opinionated.
And
I will not have opinion pieces on this podcast.
Isn't that what a podcast is, though?
You suck. I'm just kidding. I can totally see his point. Tyler, do you have anything you want to add to the topic before I jump in?
I kind of it did suck. I'll agree to that. Like six cards that we already have. Like it is a new exclusive card that I'm sure other people out there are going to be willing to buy just because of collection purposes. Like I'm sure if James would absolutely have bought a bunch of High Seas Adventures because he loves this art. He loves this card.
Absolutely, he would.
So if he didn't get a go, if none of us went to go, he would have absolutely bought these cards from somebody.
Totally.
So like there is some sort of resale value to these cards because they're so exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just getting 6 cards for coming isn't that good. I also heard though that last year prize support lost them so much money that they're really tightening their wallet straps.
So I'm going to jump in, and I want us all to realize that we've had this topic before when this prize support got announced.
Mm-hmm.
And all 3 of us at this table were like, yeah, that's rad. I'm digging the prize support. The fact that we go there now and we see the reality of it, of what it is that we actually are down for, we did not understand what it is that we had before versus what we have now. And I've said it to Ryan. I've said it to as many people as I can. I like this price support, but it needs a little tweaking, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you compare it to other games competitively, you do not travel to a competitive tournament to make your money back and do shitty. If you suck and you get 9th place, be better.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make your money back playing this game, being a professional card game player, and you take your 2 boxes because your name is Jeremy Ray and you win with Cassie Cage and you sell those boxes, or you crack the singles and you sell the singles, good job. You got first to do that. If you got 9th or worse, I'm not here to pay for your tournament. But point of you paying this money is for you to test your mettle, get into top 8 for prizes, for fame. But the main thing you're paying is we paid $20, not $25.
Mm-hmm.
We cut the cost down by $5 for entry. I expected to go there. I paid for 2 people. I expected to drop $50 in this tournament. I dropped $40. I saved $10. Rad. Man, they fed us. What the fuck?
Yeah. It was very cool.
It was very cool. Shout out to Gaming Goat. Go like him on Facebook. And I'm fine with the prize support up until round 5. I believe going and playing for the 4 exclusive High Seas Adventure is very much worth it.
Mm-hmm.
They did not expect 50 people to be at this event, and they ran out of High Seas Adventures. So you know what they should have done? They should have done the 4, everybody gets a play set, and then after that, we start cracking boxes. Rounds 5 and 6 should have been packs.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
and then at that point, we are making our money back, getting these lottery tickets. There's 0 way to get this High Seas Adventure card. You cannot get this card without going to the 2 events this year that held it.
Yeah.
In March, they will not be giving out this promo. We got the last set of High Seas Adventure that will ever be printed. Asterisk. If they decide to turn their back on that and change their mind, that happens.
I want to imagine that there are going to be some at Worlds or Nationals for
Maybe.
like tops.
Maybe. Or maybe it might be a redemption pack thing.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I'm not positive. Like, this mat will never come back.
Yeah.
Because
this mat will never come back.
the words February 2019 PTC Top 8 exist on it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't give this away in June. They
Definitely.
printed 16 of these mats. They printed 14 of these mats. They printed 14
Wouldn't
of these
it
mats.
be 16 because it's 2 top 8s?
Yeah, 2 top 8s.
Absolutely, except for the winner had an embroidered mat that said February
yeah.
PTC winner.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Yep.
That's
That
a
makes
different
sense.
math,
What?
though. That's a different math, though.
Right. That's why I said it was 14.
Yep.
So I think the price support is fine. And the very last thing I have to say, and fellas, jump in anytime. Interrupt me, please. Let's let them test it out. This is the first time I've ever gotten a mat for topping at an event. I used to get mats all the time for Yu-Gi-Oh, and it was rad. And that was the feeling that I wanted, as I had this top 8 mat, which I can go and I can sell this mat.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I can make my money back. Is
Right.
you have to do well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving out. So I went and I paid $25. So let's do the math.
Mm-hmm.
I go and I pay at the old event. I pay $25, and you get $25 in packs. That does not pay for a plane ticket. That does not pay for a Jasco employee to be there an entire weekend.
Mm-hmm.
That does not pay the store to have the lights on to host our event.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
$20 to get the prize support that we got. Understanding that I made top 4. I get that. I actually got real prize support. I thought it was fine. Could it have been better? Could it have been smoother? Could it have been a little cleaner on how we dish out prize support? Yeah, I believe so. I think after round 4, crack packs. But you showing up for an exclusive promo that you can't get anywhere else, that's fine.
Yeah.
And it's totally fine.
So I think it's fine if the store is charging like $20 or $25, but
Mhm.
I've heard of stores charging like upwards of $35, which I'm gonna be honest, I would never.
What store has charged upwards of $35?
I don't remember, but it was a store in California, if I recall.
The store in
correctly.
California, the reason that their price was increased is they said out the gate, the price is going to be this, and we're going to cater in this thing.
Okay,
which-
that makes more sense.
Gaming Goat was very chill, and they did it on their dime. Rad. But the store out in California, which has way higher costs than in Chicago, I believe, fact check me, put me in the comments down below,
I'm sure.
was like, in order, I'm going to keep everybody fed, you get an hour for lunch, but I don't want you to have to take that hour. We're going to order in pizza for everybody that shows up.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm going to increase the cost a little bit.
Okay, that
That's
makes
fine.
sense. That
And
makes
it
more
was,
sense.
It was explained at the beginning. At the beginning, when you registered, this is what you're paying for. So let's not get that twisted.
Okay, because as far as I had heard, the
Mhm.
way it was explained to me, they were just charging $35. There was like no context to it.
Yeah, I believe it was for food.
We had this conversation at the diner
Mhm.
before we went to the PTC about how it cost us so much,
Yeah.
and then it was explained to us, hey, they add
catered.
food, and
Yeah.
then yes, everybody's
Yeah,
okay with
that
it.
makes total sense.
That makes
So
more sense.
I want to go
yeah.
ahead and I'm going to jump into this top 8. We're going to do 8 through 5 today, and then tomorrow we'll do 4 through 1.
Yeah, top 4.
I'm excited for that one. So 8th place we've got Vega, piloted by Phil Birch. It is your standard evil. Do you have the deck list? Because I'm just going to share with
Yes,
Travis.
I have the deck list.
Let's go through attacks. Coffee Stomach Glaive Throw. Sawblade Strike is really, really interesting. In Vega, it's a 5 high for a 6 after you lose 2 life. I think, honestly, it's just to, like, get you in momentum. Like,
Man, I should be playing that card in my list.
it's very, very good.
I actually think that fixes the problem we were discussing. This card.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think this list, he's also playing this card.
That one's really cool.
He's playing Thundering Impact, which at Desperation, it's a 4 high. It's a 4 high for 4, which means it's actually a 4 high for 7, and it has EX1. So when you fight against Jeddah in top 8, he gives you a fucking momentum, and you fucking make it 4 high for 7. And it's a throw, and it's got Deadlock Powerful 4. Like, he's playing a list that just kills you. I didn't see any sadistic ways whenever we played. He might have just checked him and I didn't notice.
Huh.
I didn't really see him either.
He's citing the princess parries, probably taking out the sadistic ways for the parries.
Yeah, I think
You said you didn't see him either? Is that because you were just watching the game?
I was watching the game. Yeah,
Okay.
I
I
didn't.
thought you'd fought him in rounds.
No. I might have seen him play it against you, just like as a poke kind of,
Or like a block or something?
maybe.
I don't think he played it as an
I saw it in the card pool. I never saw it after that though.
Okay.
I don't think asterisk.
Yeah.
When we look at the list of foundations though, there's nothing really here jumping out at me except for maybe like Serving Evil, but I think that might have been an old list. Like the only thing that actually changed from the new set is we got Confronting Jeddah at a 1 of, so his foundation lineup didn't change at all, and we got a singular attack, as in Thundering Impact, which
Mhm.
means his attack lineup it didn't really change.
Hmm.
So this brings me to like a point that I guess I can write down for another topic of, do decks need to change when new cards come out? This deck is still super viable. I think he had some bad breaks that day. Lost to some things maybe he shouldn't have lost to.
Yeah.
Um,
Cough, cough. Get it.
yeah.
Cough, cough.
Yeah, hey man, I play like turn perfect. But like this deck does not have a bunch of Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers cards in it, and is that fine? Is Evil Vega as good as it needs to be?
So a part of me doesn't agree with sadistic ways in this deck.
Okay,
I think if
lean in.
I think if you're playing a 2-check in Vega, it should definitely be time slow. Putting that card in your card pool just ends your opponent's turn.
You ready for the reason why he's playing this card? What's this number right here?
Yeah.
I think
get it.
sadistic ways being a 4 is incredibly important, and time slow is a 5. Yes,
Yes.
it is a
but,
5, and it is not technically a desperation attack.
I mean, it also has stun 4, though, when
It
you're
does.
in desperation.
It does have stun 4, and you know what doesn't need to have stun 4? A 5-speed attack.
I mean,
A 5-speed attack that has multiple 2 on it, and sometimes has multiple 4, because I've hit them with a Thundering Impact and a Saw Blade Strike beforehand,
so
or I've hit them with a Glaive Throw that they were afraid to block.
if you think about it, though,
Yes.
time slow also has 5 base speed.
Okay, that's fair. The card doesn't have multiple 2. Like I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But why would you play? So why would I play time slow when I have Coffee Samba? They fulfill the same job. Yes.
Not technically.
Okay.
So the reason why I use it the most, I don't actually use it to attack more than I use to block it with.
Okay.
Like, I block with time slow, their turn's just over 99.9% of the time. Because not only do they have to deal with -1 from time slow, they
Mhm.
also have to deal with +1 difficulty because of Vega and -1 check if I choose to use Vega.
Okay.
So like, Jake was I don't remember what he was playing, but he had like 14 foundations or something,
Okay.
and he went in, and I played a time slow. He passed all of his checks on 5s, but he had like -2 to all of his checks, and so he ended up having to commit 12 out of his 14 foundations and barely killed me.
Okay.
Like, normally in any other situation, his turn would have just been over. He just built so much. But I think against any other deck, because I'm pretty sure he was playing some Eternal deck. Oh, he was playing King. That's right. And against any other deck, because that deck has no Mai in it,
Mm-hmm.
so he gets to play that card for free pretty much.
Yeah. I guess that's just the flavor that you want to go with. But I think one of the big things that I never played on my deck was War for Armageddon. The cards that have 3 over this deck. Responses are really good.
Yeah. Fun fact, admission fees has a response on it.
Admission fees has a response on it. Do you know what admission fees response is, Tyler? Do you know what it does?
What? No, I don't.
After your opponent draws 2, you can commit it, and you draw 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
It's pretty rad.
Right.
Drag card. Last thing I want to say about the deck is power split. I love this card. I think this card's very, very cool in this deck. Discard momentum. They commit 1. I get to ready it. Super, super rad. Shout out to Phil Birch. Congrats on the 8th place. 7th place. Keith Disbro by Dylan Hall. Shout outs to him. This is a super lame
Mill
deck.
And I love it.
I hate it. I think this deck was actually abysmal to try and play against.
Okay.
I played against this in rounds, and this was my tie. In game 1, we spent 30 minutes and him milling out 14 of my 17 attacks. He just removed them. I actually ended up cycling, and as soon as I got done with the cycle, I just scooped up and went on. I couldn't kill him before the cycle, so I just went on. And then I killed him in game 2 5 minutes before time, and I was like, I don't want to play game 3. We'll just tie. And he's like, that's fine. I couldn't kill you anyways. I should have went for it. I should have but I was so frazzled because I was trying to I had to do a bunch of math. He ended the game with 3 solid strikes in his momentum. But anyway, so the entire way this deck works is it plays Fatality, It adds Fatality into his momentum. It adds Saw Blade Strike into his momentum, which, if it's from a public zone, it goes face up. And he will just Surveyor or Keith Disborough back his Fatalities in order to remove all 20 asterisks of your attacks. And then you can no longer win the game. And so he's won. All he has to do is get a little lucky with what you check and whatnot. So, also, Keith can do some really crazy things with Future Pulside Date. He can gain 2, add Future Pulside Date into his momentum, discard that Future Pulside Date, and gain another 2, a lot like Faye can. So he was just doing a bunch of really cool, cheeky combos. So he'd gain like 4 or 5 on every attack, which is essentially -5 damage, and he can block it. So it was an incredibly cool deck. I think it was just a little too slow, to compete, and then he lost in top 8 to Goro, which we'll talk about, who I believe got 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had heard that he got pretty unlucky in getting paired into his worst matchup, though, which is Heidi.
Yes.
The one Heidi in the room out of 49 people.
He definitely did fight a Heidi. I think I'd have lost to Heidi too.
She just kind of doesn't care what you're doing most of the
Absolutely
time.
not. But I feel like he might have a really cool advantage if like they get a little unlucky and like, hey, here's all 4 of one mech.
Yep.
I got one.
See
Like
ya.
you can just boop, it's
GG
over.
well played.
Yeah.
So, how many points will you have at the end of the day if you do nothing but draw?
Depending on the rounds, 6.
Okay.
So at our tournament, it'd have been 6. So for everybody out there who does not understand how the point system works, whenever you win a match, you get 3 points. When you lose a match, you get 0 points. When you draw a match, you get 1 point. And so your ending record was 8. You had 8 points.
I feel like I had more.
No.
Right? Okay.
No, you had 8.
Okay.
3 and 3 is 6, and then 1 and 1 is 2.
And
6 and 2 is 8.
Okay.
do you know what the topping
I believe it was
records
12.
were? Okay.
12 was where the cutoff was. That's what I
Okay.
was told. I did not do the math.
Okay.
Maybe that's what I was thinking, because that seemed like 8 seemed like a low number, but I guess I was remembering that 12 was like tops.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I think if you went X2, you got in. Or it might have actually been like 13. It might have been like XX1.
There was a lot of 4-1-1s. I remember it like, yeah. That was the thing. Is that there were so many 4-1s that
There's dropping out 4-2s.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm fairly positive. I did not hear about anybody IDing. Not one person. I think everybody played it out. Yeah. But Dylan, I think this deck is very, very good. I think it is good.
I agree. I think it's cool. This is my play style.
Man, this kid cited Invoking Blood Magic against me, and that was so fucking frustrating, man. That card says that if I want to discard one of the momentum, I have to discard a momentum as a static.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, like of course
Oh,
this guy
man.
is for that in his fucking sideboard. Why wouldn't he?
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Shout out Dylan. We're gonna move on. Moving on to Shadow Man. This is a Lord Raptor Sandbag. Look at this spicy. We're gonna get to the sideboard in a minute because there are 2 blue cards in here that are a little crazy. Like there's a bunch of stuff in here. So we've got 4 Leg Shredder, obviously 4 Sweet Chainsaw. He's playing 23 attacks. That's so many. Bear Bite, Azuna Drop, Bloody High Claw to 2 of. You're a brave man. We're playing 4 Hurricane of Death. This guy's just trying to go in. This guy's just trying to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Mind Trigger, it's under air and not death. Thrilled to eat you out of 3 of Dust in the Wind. Black Justice, Voices in the Dark seems really rad. Choose 1 card, needs player's momentum or discard pile, shuffle it back to the host deck. Yeah, that's really cool. Playing 2 bang. I dig this. I dig this list. He's blowing up his own stuff. Discard momentum to blow up your stuff. Getting free stuff on it. I dig it.
Yeah.
Healed by Shaman plays. Spirit of the
it's
Wolf is nuts. It's insane.
Really sweet with Hurricane of Death.
Yeah. Sorry, I took a very big drink when you made a fantastic point. Spirit of the Wolf and Hurricane of Death is insane. I
Yeah.
just thought of that.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
Yep.
4 Oaf. All right, look at this madman playing 4 Showtime. He was determined to get this card.
Yeah, you really want to see that card. I don't know if it's a 4.
I don't think it is either.
I think it's more like a 2 or a 3, but you definitely really want to see that card.
So in my Raptor deck, I play 2 of it. Because every time that I played 3, I'd always open 2 and be like, man, I'm a 6-hander. That sucks.
Rip.
It doesn't have a block on it.
Not like this.
But I want to talk about the sideboard. 2 concussion blast, 1 Hyokushin, 1 big shot punch, 1 big shot Judy. What is happening here? And it's completely off symbol. He has to put these in when he's playing as Raptor. Apparently, -3 speed and -3 damage randomly is good enough on defense
I guess.
because he can't pump them.
Yeah.
This is like how Jasko intended big shots to be used. 1 little Raptor, 1 more Black Justice, 1 Shaolin Fighter, which is it's on symbol. It's there.
Yeah, it is there.
Yeah, I think this list is fine. I think he should have maybe just played the diversity battle and just played as Lord Raptor because no Raptors topped.
Well, I think he was assuming that more Raptors were going to be there.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't play Raptor. I had 1 diversity battle. Shout out to Garrison.
I think the sideboard could be a bit more concentrated.
I think it'd be cleaner. Yeah,
But other than that, I think the deck looks pretty good.
I'm not in love with Bloody High Claw. I think that card
Yeah.
cannot be in a deck anymore. I do not believe that card is good enough. I think if you're gonna play it, you're gonna play Concussion Blast over it. Because at least when they block that for free with a Flame Aura, it discards itself.
Yeah.
Getting your Bloody High Claw drop blocked for free with Flame Aura just feels abysmal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on. Shout outs to Omri. Good job, buddy. Last deck we're gonna look at for this topic is going to be Chris Nixon's Akuma 2-Dot, our Swiss champ, the Swiss Army knife. His deck seems fairly straightforward. He's got some foundations that I wanna talk about. But let's go over the attacks and actions first. First off, actions: 4 Fade, 4 Evoke. I think this is obvious. I think you have to do this. He's playing 4 Gyro Attack, which is the multiple attack from Gyro Man. He's playing only 3 Gyro Blade, which is the draw attack. Tyler, what's your opinion on this? I know you fought a lot of Akuma, and our local Akuma here in the house does not believe in Gyro Blade.
What's it do? I lost the list.
Enhance, discard 1 face down card from your card pool, draw a card. It is a 2 low for 4, which means it is a 2 low for 5 with stun 1 on it.
I actually think that's
on a
quite good.
3 diff that draws
Yeah.
you a card.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Akuma. I'm gonna play this attack. I'm gonna stun 1, give plus damage. I'm going to draw a card.
Yeah,
It's really good.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think he really values the draw in this deck because the one problem that you could ever have with Akuma is running out of steam.
Absolutely, which we saw him do versus Cassie Cage. He would draw hands with 1 or 2 attacks and be forced to go in order to discard Cassie's hand.
Yep.
To make him throw blocks and whatnot. Besides that, I think the attack lineup is totally fine. For Dahatsu Shoten, for Kongo. He's only playing 2 of the Ultra Rare, which is fine. He's only playing 1 Dialect Devil Slayer. I think this is a really interesting choice. This is a 5 high for 5 with a 0 mid block. He's playing that ignores progressive, powerful 3, EX3, the one of, the singleton. He's playing 18 attacks. Probably because he was just killing people.
Yeah.
Probably because Akuma does 45,000 damage by himself.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually wouldn't have as much of a problem with Akuma if Kongo didn't exist or if it was nerfed. I think that's the one thing that makes Akuma just disgusting.
Just the keyword reversal.
That
Fuck that.
and
Fuck that.
the fact that you can just powerful 2 and clear your card pool.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine as long as really I think the biggest problem with Akuma is the Enlightened by Defeat.
Absolutely. This card
should
have said the word or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that Akuma
Yeah.
So I guess the a base 5 speed attack fucking sucks on reversal. Especially when it has 2 million damage.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to give that attack another plus 8 speed, and then another plus 8 speed, and then another plus 8 speed,
It's speed and damage for Enlightened.
sure. But what really matters there is
You're right.
I gave it a shit ton of speed. So the fact that I already gave it, I'm about to give it 20 something damage just by it existing in the card pool.
Yeah.
Here's another million speed. It's impossible to block unless you have a speed reset,
Yeah, absolutely.
which you have to use on your turn, and then
4 admission fees. Here's the card I want to talk about. Entrusted Protector. I saw this card on Chris Nixon's board all fucking day.
This card's so good.
This card's crazy. I is definitely one of the Tam's top 10 slept on cards. I don't think this card's very good, but like it was saving him some games. He did not have to block with attacks. He was just be like, "Hey, I'll minus 8 damage this thing. I'm fine now. I'll take the 4s, whatever."
This is more generic, but slightly worse Athena's Knight.
Yeah. He was playing World of that battle for extra speed or speed reduction, and he was also playing Drained by a Kiss at a 2 of in order to flip cards.
I actually don't think that the speed part right there is the most relevant part on that card.
You think the flip draw?
Yeah, it says draw a card at desperation.
Yeah.
So like he didn't have to play more than one arranging a deal because he already had this card in his deck that said draw a card.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yep.
Is there anything crazy about this deck that you're seeing? Anything that jumps out to you?
No.
I can't believe you're not playing 4 New Empress.
That one is that's the thing I kind of don't really get.
Yeah.
New Empress is extremely good. I really think that people are sleeping on Akuma's Rare Foundation. That card's actually nuts.
The Power to Connect Realms. He
Yes.
said that he was ending turns by just playing one of it, dipping 2 cards out of somebody's hand, and then killing them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say something on this podcast that I've never said before. I think Damnation's actually good in this deck.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Damnation is actually playable in Akuma, and here's why, Tyler Clark. I can see that look on your face
I'm very confused.
of who are you? How did you get in my house?
Here, you want to sit it in a little bit.
All right. I think that Damnation is actually playable in this deck.
What?
Yeah. And here's why. I think the only way that you fight Akuma is with the foundations you have in your staging area. You're not allowed to really block him. You have to block with foundations, and in order to play the game, you have to build those. And so like hey, I'm gonna reset your damage. No.
Right.
I'm going to reset your speed. No.
What does Damnation read again?
Damnation says after your opponent plays an ability on an enhanced ability printed on a foundation, cancel its effects. This is really good to fight their admission fees if you absolutely need to. This is really good to fight whatever random thing that they. If I've got a wall of staging area, which I have to build because all of your techs have stun, this stops one of those foundations.
I think Damnation is also one of the best answers to them trying to get rid of your own admission fees.
Totally.
Because is War for Armageddon an enhance?
It is an enhance.
So you can stop War for Armageddon with this.
Yeah.
And Spike's 3-diff that blows up a foundation.
Red Dragon Assassin.
Yes. That, and I'm pretty sure there's one other one that blows up something.
Either way, but like protecting your plays, it is an additional revoke for foundations.
Yep.
And I think it's actually playable in this deck, just because we don't need our foundations to kill our opponent. Akuma does that, and so your foundation game should be about like how do I facilitate that happening with my character.
Yep.
And Damnation is one of those cards that does that.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is on the podcast.
Neat.
Damnation is not terrible. So with that, I think we're going to move on to topic 2, which is going to be starting with this handsome 4th place deck. So with that, topic 2.